Good evening and welcome to Feel Good Talk Love 101. I'm your host, Charles Brakely, along with the host of Love 101, my brother. What's going on, Naeem? How you doing, Naeem Najib? What's up with you?
I'm doing phenomenally. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Can't complain. It was a beautiful day today. I can't wait till it warms up just a little bit, just a tad bit more, and I'll be right. We'll be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just waiting on that. Hey, before we get started, though, Naeem, we're gonna go right into commercial break for a sponsor, the A game. We're gonna get that over and done with, and then we'll come right back. Here we go, the A game. Yes, sir. And that is the A game. Is great for your libido, strength, energy, and vitality. So definitely check it out. I have a couple more samples left. So give me a call at 302-723-2836. Again, 302-723-2836. All right. And we got something coming up this month. I think we're going to start the 15th. We'll let everybody know what that contest is. So anybody that bought the A game there will be able to participate in this. So we'll talk about that a little later on this week. So what's going on, Naeem? What's the topic for the night, brother?
Well, the topic for tonight, as always, is having a conversation about love and healthy relationships and unhealthy relationships because we are more familiar with those, to be quite honest. So let's talk about it. So first, I want to give us a model we can use to think about love because, I wrote this book. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Hold on. Called BAM, Love is Not a Game, Manual for Loving Relationships, along with other books like Trust is Not a Game, you know, Cult 101, Secrets of Selfishness, this one, uh, yeah, and a whole bunch of them. So, but they're all about how to better have interpersonal relationships with people, not just your lover or your relative or your spouse or whatever. Everybody, is based on universal principles that govern relationships with any human being, including yourself. My latest book was about self-love, self-care practices called Step System: Study, Train, Eat, Pray, Sleep the right way every day. Developing your own self-love, self-care activities that you're going to do each day to help support your own self personal development. But with all that aside, can we go to the my screen? I want to share this. As you can see, this is the facts of love and fear. It's the fundamental universal principles of love and fear, and it's in my editing because I have this document open for us to edit and add and take away from, and this is really the excuse me, hold on, universal principle of love and fear. By universal, we mean that it's the same for everyone all the time. So fear, also known as an unhealthy relationship or a toxic relationship, let's just put that in while we're here. Toxic relationship. All right. So now, what does a toxic relationship entail? It entails fear or force, meaning you don't feel comfortable showing up as you are. You feel afraid for whatever reason. And there's force. So by force, I don't mean like someone's physically forcing you to do something, which would also not be healthy. But by force, I mean you feel pressure. You feel like there's pressure involved in doing something. And for example, showing up to someone's party, right? They invited you. You're like, oh man, they showed up at my party. I really don't want to see them, but I'm gonna show up because I got to save face and all that stuff.
Right.
That's not healthy. You don't have to do that because look on the other side. Love is freedom, meaning a healthy relationship is a relationship that's based on freedom, where everyone realizes the freedom of everyone else. Freedom, as in you're free to do and do what you want to do when you want to do it and be who you are at all times. And it's not going to, again, unless somebody's got their hand in your pocket or their foot on your neck or something, violent, then if it's just about how you feel about it, that's something that your perception is giving you that experience. So if they don't show up at my party, I'm that person, they don't show up. Oh man, I feel like they abandoned me. They don't care about me. Oh my God, I feel so betrayed, so like unimportant. That's the story I'm telling myself. That has nothing to do with the other person. Because what if they died on the way to your party? You would feel stupid saying something like that, right?
Right.
Act like it hasn't happened. People have encountered life and calamity and tragedy, or they just don't want to come. Either way, when you think about something in a way that you're attacked, let's go on to attacking yourself or someone else about it, or you're angry about it, or expressing anger, or someone's angry at you, or any type of abuse, then that's in a toxic relationship pattern. That's all relationships. I don't care if it's your friend, your family member, your spouse, the waitress or waiter at the diner. It's all the same, you know. Now on the other side, we had appreciation. That's the universal principle. We always go back to appreciation. Appreciation is the appropriate response in every situation. If you want to have better communication, start with some appreciation. That rhymes, right? Which brings us to the next part, which everybody can agree is communication and clarity is a key of a healthy relationship, whereas conflict and confusion is not. Is a key player in the toxic relationship. And any one of these is enough for your relationship to be toxic on the left side. And any one of these is enough for your relationship to be healthy on the right side because they're all connected, right? You can't you can't say to someone, "Oh, I free you 5 days a week." Right? I recognize your freedom 5 days a week. It's like, no, you recognize their freedom 100% of the time. That means you appreciate them, and that's the same thing. That's trust. When going down to the next one, that's trust. Knowing that you're free and you're not in my life to abuse me, and I'm not in your life to abuse you. Not even if not 1 day a week, 0 days a week. And on the other side, we got from trust and truth, we got trauma and triggers, right? That's when I'm always feeling triggered. It's a toxic situation. Not necessarily is the other person toxic just because you're triggered. And this is important, y'all. Just because you're triggered doesn't mean the other person is toxic. It just means that whatever is happening, you are interpreting it in a way that triggers you. For example, let's say someone close to you just passed, and then a friend, and you getting bouquets of flowers at the funeral, and then every time you see a flower, you just remember the person and you feel sad. You remember the funeral and you remember all that. Then a friend of yours who maybe just coming up and they didn't know what happened, or they bring you a flower, or they even know what happened, they bring you a flower to express their condolences, and you burst out crying. Is that their fault? Did they mean to attack you? Or no, it was just your interpretation of it. May have been a tender moment. That flower may have, triggered something that had nothing to do with their intention. So just because you're being triggered, everybody, including Naeem, myself, doesn't mean that the other person has done something to you. Let's remember that. You remind me of my ex. Why? Because y'all both got long hair. There's many people in the world that got long hair, right? Many people that got locks, many people that have bald heads, many people, right, that wears a hat. Just because someone that or something that was painful in the past, what happens now may remind you of that. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily toxic. So remember, triggers and trauma are personal to you. That's not like, oh, there's a universal trauma or universal trigger. The universal principle is that when you are experiencing fear, meaning attached, when you feel trauma, that's when you feel triggered. All right. There's no universal trigger or trauma. I think we're clear on that. And finally, we have sincerity on the right side of a healthy relationship. It's when someone is showing up and saying what they mean and meaning what they say. I like this example for sincerity. Let's say someone sincerely is dyslexic or can't spell or write, or like for me, I'm a prolific writer, but for spelling though, don't try to get me to get no spelling bee because I'm embarrass myself. Actually, I won't embarrass myself. I'm gonna start by saying I don't spell, y'all. I write, but I don't do all that spelling. Let somebody else do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I write MEEN. You know what I mean. So I'm sincere about that. I'm not saying that I'm the best speller in the world, but if I write you or someone who says straight up, I'm not the best speller, they write you a letter from their heart with appreciation in it, and they misspell some words. They may even misspell your name. Is that something to get triggered over? Maybe you get triggered over, but does it mean that it doesn't mean that they didn't let you know already that, listen, I'm not the best speller.
Right.
So that saying what you mean, meaning what you say, showing up as you are, sincerity. And again, it's all connected. It's all connected. And at the end, we got on the toxic side, separation and scarcity. Separation in terms of I'm feeling separate, not in terms of we're physically separate, because Charles and I are states away, but we are together in this moment with you in this conversation, and so are you, wherever you are physically. So we're not talking about physical space and time separation. We're talking about the separation when that thing. Good. I was being responsible. I put my phone over there because I didn't need it. So, but let's just pretend this is a phone, right? Separation when you're sitting across from somebody trying to have dinner and they like this in their phone. That separation I'm talking about. The separation where you're expressing yourself or trying to communicate, and their mind is somewhere else in the past, or they're still triggered about something from before, so they are not present with you and they're shut down, their energy is closed. That type of separation I'm talking about. And we all know that we've experienced love and closeness with people who are miles and states and overseas away, and we felt close to these people in our heart. We felt separate from people who were sitting right next to us, sitting right across from us, laying right next to us, in the same house as us. We felt this. So that's the type of separation I'm talking about that attributes to toxic relationship and fear, this mindset, this universal principle. And a scarcity is also in there because the idea that love is scarce. Like, oh, I can only have one person that gives me everything I need and everything I want. No, not possible. And that's a fairy tale. Get over it. It's not true. If somebody needs to bust your bubble, call me the bubble buster because I'm here to do that for you. I'm here to offer the service of bubble busting. So if your bubble was that there's one person out there that's going to give you everything that you think you need and think you want to be happy for the rest of your life, where's something I can represent? I don't have anything, but let's just say this was the bubble, right? Let's just say this was the bubble. Now it's busted. You see that? Right through. That's no longer something you need to concern yourself with. Remember that people are in your life because the spice of life is the variety, right? So enjoy the love and the expressions of freedom, appreciation, communication, trust, and sincerity from everybody. It's not just one person, okay? And that's why it's universal. Because just because you're not having sex with someone, or because you are having sex with someone, doesn't mean that you cannot receive appreciation elsewhere, right? Just because you may express your appreciation financially in your business relationship doesn't mean you express that appreciation financially in your sibling relationship or your family or friend or whatever it may be. And you may. I'm just saying that there's no one way that appreciation, communication, trust, there's no one way that it shows up. It shows up universally, and the variety is in how you show up to do it in love. So that's my presentation to ground us in the message before we move on to the comments. So I'm ready.
Yeah, awesome as always, brother. Appreciate that. And we don't have too many comments right now. We got one comment out there, and Izzy Meditate saying hello. What's going on, Izzy? Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Definitely appreciate the love and support. And this this is our Feel Good Talk family right here. So hey, Naeem, as always, man. Great information.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome information. So
So let's move on to the discussion now,
Okay.
because I always want to start with the principles so
Right.
that we're not like we're traveling together, like we're in the same vehicle traveling down the same road and
Mm-hmm.
having a conversation. It's like we're going on a road trip
Mm-hmm.
during this conversation, and we are saying this is what love is. This is how at
Right.
least I'm offering an interpretation of it for you, or a way of looking at it. No one's right or wrong. No one's interpretation is good or bad. It's just this is the one I'm offering based on universal principles. And so now we know that we're on the same page, right? So at least if we know we're on the same page, we can have a conversation. It's different when someone's like, you, Charles, is in this book and I'm in that book. Then we're trying to have a conversation, and these books are talking two different topics, two different languages. And when someone says, "Oh, I love you," then someone thinks, "Oh, you're in love with them. It means you're attracted." This person, "No, I love you. It means
Mm.
appreciation." We're trying to ground the language so that we can be on the same page. It's like taking a road trip and being in the same car rather than taking a road trip and saying, "Okay, where's the car?" You're like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, I'm in the car." I'm like, "Well, I'm in my car too. Where are you?" Right? We're in our own cars on the same road trip, which is
Mm-hmm.
possible if you have great communication. But if you're gonna be in the road trip in the same vehicle, it's good to just say we in this vehicle together, and this is the meaning that we're using
Right.
for love. Welcome, Rosa. I see
Yeah, we
you
got
in the
Rosa. She
comments.
says, hey, what's going on, Rosa? Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. And if anybody got any questions out there, please let us know. If you got
Oh
any
yeah,
any conversation that you would like to pass on, or any type of any type of comments, let us know, and we'll answer it to the best of our ability. We'll answer it out
and
of love.
and
There
appreciation. We appreciate your
you
comments
go.
and just listening. And anyone in the studio that wants to say anything, please type it in the chat. And I had a question for everyone. You know how Facebook, I know it's being streamed on Facebook Live, it has the relationship status option, right? And you know how it has, right? Single, married, or whatever. And then it also has complicated. You know that one? What does that mean? Anybody out here who has, currently does, or knows somebody who identifies their relationship status as complicated, tell me exactly what that means. Spell it out. Meaning don't pull any punches. If it's complicated, then say it's because my roommate's best friend's aunt's fiance's baby mama's uh clerk asked me out. I don't know. Whatever that means to you. I just don't know what it means. And I don't think that it's a universal principle. When someone says it's complicated, like that's everyone knows what that means.
Mhm.
I don't know what it means. So I'm asking that anyone who has any insight into that or wants to to spell out what that means, a complicated relationship, what it means. Because what I laid out, would you, meaning you who are listening and watching, would you say that it was complicated or was it simple?
Mhm.
That's my question.
Right. And I want to know too, because I see that a lot. And normally when you say complicated, there's a whole lot of underlying issues going on with that relationship. But the way you laid it out, as far as the facts, love, and fear, there you go. Boom. Fear and love is called one. There you go. Called 101. There you go. And that's very simple. It breaks down the universal principles of love. And I can understand them, and anybody else can understand them. Even kids can understand that. So
Yeah.
so
So I'm just curious what anyone wants to say
yeah.
about it.
I mean, like I said,
So
there's always some underlying issue when they put that on there. It's complicated. But who really wants to be in a complicated situation? I know I don't, but that's just me. So if anybody out there has anything for us, please let us know, because I would really love to know, what's going on. Like I said, the experiences I've seen or I've saw or read about or is normally, something that's something's off or something's not right. So Please help me out. Please help us out. Please help us understand that. Back to you, Naeem.
I'm chatting with Cali Soul here, who says, complicated is confusion, which is fear-based. That's a very simple way to put it, right? And let me just go back into I'm gonna have to go back into my the telemarketer joint on y'all, because I'm telling you, I can do this all day long by myself, but that's not why I do this. I do this for the conversation. But since y'all gonna make me do this, I'm about to do it. Here we go. Let me get my position right. So, would you like to know what it would be like to have a relationship that was so simple, so easy, and so life-giving that every time you think of the person, you smile and light up? And you can even tell that they're thinking about you. When you think about them, they call or text. When they think about you, you call or text. What would it be like to have a relationship that is so full of life and love and energy that it just makes you feel young, makes you feel like a child? What if I told you there's one thing you're doing wrong in your relationships that's blocking you from having all of that right here, right now? Wouldn't you want to know what that is? Wouldn't you want to know what that one thing is that you're doing right now that's stopping you from having all of the loving, life-giving energy in your relationships, the impeccable communication, the feelings of freedom, the appreciation, the joy, the laughter, the deep, heartfelt connection that you long for, and that you could have it instantly. And not only with that one special person, but with everyone. What if you could see everyone as a special person in your life that you have a special connection with, but it's all so full of life and love? Wouldn't you like to know what that is? Well, there's one thing you're doing right now that's stopping all that from happening. And if you check back in with us with a comment, then we may just reveal that later on in the show. Back to you, Chuck.
Hey, Naya, we do have a comment. So here we go. We got a Hope White. She says, complicated sounds like there is a lack of trust and commitment. I believe the issue of loyalty would be a problem. Exactly, Hope. And I feel the same way. It's always a problem. It's always something that's underlined that something's going on. So again, I agree with you on that one.
Thank you, Hope. And trust was one of those 5 principles that we discussed.
Mhm.
And I would like to say also that I'm about to share my screen again,
Okay.
so you can see the ease with which this is laid out for you. It says it's the facts of love and fear for a reason, because facts spell out the word facts and the acronym facts, but on both sides. Look at the acronym of the words. Peace, Kinsu. How you doing, bro? Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, King Sue.
How you doing?
All right, brother. Good to have you. Good to have you.
Yes, good to have you back to steal the shine with one of your great items of jewelry and necklaces. I don't know if he's wearing it now. I can't tell, but his brother makes some fabulous art and jewelry that's also functional and inspired to bring healthy healing energy to you, to inspire that. So I want to put that out there. And back to the facts, it's easy to remember because look on the love side. It's freedom, F, A, appreciation, C, communication, T, trust, S, sincerity. On the fear side, it's F for fear, A for attack, anger, abuse. Pick your choice. Any one of them will do. Any one of them will ruin your relationship. Any one of them will make your relationship toxic. Conflict, confusion, take your pick. Trauma, triggers for the T, and S for separation, scarcity. Take your pick. They all will do the job of making your relationship toxic. So I'm gonna make sure you take a screenshot, and I'm going to take it down. So we have Clarence. Is love complicated because we all define it differently? That's a good question. And can we rephrase it and say, is love simple, but we make it complicated because we all define it differently?
There you go.
Is it simple, but we make it complicated because we all define it differently, right? We all know this. We all know that we're good at. Y'all played a game of telephone. Somebody could be like hello on one end, and the next person, by the time it comes back, it's a your mama so ugly joke. By the time it gets back around, like 3, 4 people. It's like, what'd
Right.
you say? I just said hi. Like, no, you said about my mama.
That's true.
Things get lost in translation, and people don't like to admit that they don't know. Like, what did he say? Like, somebody said something about, pass a message to me. Like, he said that you ugly. Like, you, maybe he didn't say that. Maybe you just didn't hear him right. Who knows? But that's another fear-based thing. Because sincerity would say, I don't know, right? If you don't know, you just say, I don't know. But that ego, that I gotta save face, I gotta look a certain way because I'm concerned, I'm afraid, fear of how you're gonna perceive me if I don't know the answer to this question. I'm gonna just make something up on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know, y'all, you didn't tell me my collar was messed up this whole time. We all know, y'all not my friends. We all know that 97.35% of all statistics are made up right there on the spot. So that's all I got to say about that. You catch it. All right. So, Kinsu, you got any comments or questions so far?
No, I'm just listening. You know, I all in. I don't know everything. I'm here to learn.
Yeah, we was talking about I don't know if you ever seen that phrase love, on Facebook or Facebook main. That's where I see that all the time, where they say relationship status and they always have in there complicated. We were talking about, what does that mean and how would we interpret that, that complicated,
Or even what does it mean to
Yeah,
you?
what does
Like,
it
if
mean
you've
to
ever defined your relationship as complicated, what does it mean? And Hope White had mentioned that it sounds like there's a lack of trust and commitment. And she also said, I believe the issue of loyalty would be a problem. And I know there's a delay, but when you get around to it, could you discuss loyalty in your own words? Hope, what does that mean? Can you spell out what loyalty means to you when you're saying it here in this comment? And yeah, so my goal is to open the conversation and give us another way of looking at healthy and toxic relationships and ways of relating and ways of thinking about relationships because it all starts here in the mind. I think we have another.
We do have a comment. We do have one on Dreddy Gal. And she says, thanks to you both as always. With Hope mentioning loyalty, that reminds me of a convo I recently had about loyalty often being viewed as an important aspect of intimate relationships and maybe relationships in general. Love Doctor, thoughts on loyalty? Thanks. That's right, the Love Doctor.
Yes, I should be an essential service provider. Right? Love is essential. Um, I thank you. Sound like we were on the same lines in our thinking there, Dreddy Gal. I'm gonna bring up actually something that me 6 years ago wrote about this in Love is Not a Game. So I'm gonna bring that up in a moment because what are thoughts on loyalty? Well, the truth is how the question is, what does loyalty mean to you? If we look at it in a relationship standpoint, usually it has something to do with sexual exclusivity, sexual um, deception, discretion, things like that. A lot of times that fidelity and loyalty thing comes up. But then people also with their friends, like, oh, you not loyal. You hanging out with so and so. You know I got beef with so and so. You ain't loyal and all of that stuff. So the another word that reminds me of loyalty is commitment. And I have a chapter on commitment. Will you help me read some of that, Kinsu? I'm about to bring it up. All right, I'm about to bring it up on the screen for y'all. You said something. You was on mute.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna bring up Dreddy Girl's comment. She says you are an essential service provider. All right. And Dawn Lee Thomas, what's going on, lady? Thanks for tuning in. Definitely appreciate that. She says good evening. All right, and
Thank you, Dreddy Girl. And if you would begin by reading this first page, Kinsu.
Okay, yes. Chapter 12, commitment. What about commitment? Are you in a committed relationship? Are you committed to love? Let's start with this question. What is commitment? Truth principle. Commitment is neutral.
And let's actually pause right there for a second, Kinsu, because I do want everyone to express what commitment means to you as well as part of this conversation, loyalty, commitment. And this here that I'm sharing is just another way of looking at it, a more broad way, Broadway, like the street. I didn't even realize I was punning myself. A more broad way in Amsterdam of looking at commitment and the idea of it in differently than we're used to. So we're gonna ask some questions and tease out a different insight about it. So please continue, Kinsu.
In reality, commitment is neutral. Commitment itself doesn't mean anything. The meaning comes from the purpose you give to it. How so? You can be committed to loving someone, or you can be committed to strangling them the next time you see them. Commitment is
that way. Sorry, Kinsu.
or you can be committed to. Commitment is not good or bad, right or wrong. Commitment is just another tool at your disposal. How you use commitment is for you to decide. You have the power of decision. Ask yourself, how will I use commitment? Will I use commitment in the service of love or to perpetuate the painful program? Let's take a deeper look into how both the program and love look at commitment. How does the program view commitment? Program principle. Commitment means time. The program believes that commitment equals time in. This is clearly a game.
Thank you, Kinsu. Any thoughts, questions, comments up to this point?
Nah, I agree. That sounds great.
All right, then let's continue. I'll continue with this page. So why is it a game? Meaning this whole idea of time. Commitment means time in. Because time in also means what? Time out. Only the program in this context means the fearful way of thinking that we all have been indoctrinated into in living in this world. So only this fearful conditioning that we all have measures time in relationships because it thinks that time means something. The program in our minds will say things such as, we're in a committed relationship. We've been together for 10 years. The program believes that the amount of time you have invested in a relationship matters, even if there's no evidence of peace and happiness to be found in the relationship. You're at each other's throats, arguing fighting like cats and dogs every day and night. But we've been doing this for 10 years though, so it's committed. Yes, committed like in a mental institution as well. It's also another kind of commitment. But let's continue. So what does time mean? Time itself means nothing. It is the purpose you use time for that gives time its meaning. Can time be depended on? No. Why? Because time can be threatened. How? Because it changes. When? All the time. Question is, does love change? No, love never changes, not at any time. What is love's view on commitment? Here's a principle. Love is totally committed all the time. Anybody got any feedback on that so far?
No, that's definitely true. I just the crazy thing, so ironic. I was reading this article, not article, it was a video, and it was a lady was saying how people been in, you can have a person in like maybe a 5 to 10 year relationship, and then they leave that relationship and get with someone else, and within 6 months they end up marrying that other person, because of, like you just said, like a lot of times timing doesn't mean anything. Like you could be miserable in that time that you're with that person. You know what I mean? But again, like you said, commitment is just a word. You put the emphasis on commitment and the meaning on commitment more so than what you think, because you will automatically think, oh, I'm committed to this. And people use that word like you said, like it means something, but really you give that word that meaning. You understand what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with you on that. And like you said, time doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much time that you put in. That doesn't mean is great time. Like you said, Naeem, you could be with someone for 10 years. Y'all can be arguing for those 10 years. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that was a waste. That's wasted time because you're sitting there arguing and killing each other every chance you can get. Whereas you can get in a relationship where it's, like you said, the facts, the freedom, appreciation, trust and sincerity, and you rather be on the fear side, because a lot of people think that, being in a committed relationship means, not easy. Like basically, love's not easy. If it's easy, it's never good. That means, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? It can be easy. You just have to make it easy. You just have to want it to be easy. To me, that's no challenge. What is a challenge? To me, like, okay, we're going to fight every day because you say something, I say no. Okay, if I tell you, okay, sweetheart, go ahead, do what you need to do every day. Well, he's no challenge. He don't even argue with me. He doesn't want to stop me from doing this. Why should I? You know what I'm saying? Because we have the freedom to do what we want to do. So I hear this a lot when we were coming up as when we were youngsters, we would hear this. And a lot of times, you will believe that because that's what you were around a lot. So, people till this day still believe that if it comes too easy, then it's not meant to be. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts and my opinion on that. And I just had to get that out there, because I get so tired of people talking about how many years they put in, I did this many. I mean, who cares? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, are you happy? That's the whole key. And that's the whole thing that, you want to look at. And I understand as time go on, you develop feelings for this person. They become really, part of your family, because a lot of us are in toxic families. You know what I'm saying? So again, we don't, I mean, if you're in it, you don't know sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes people looking in can see certain things you can't because you're in it. So again, even though you're in a toxic relationship, you still build that I guess, that family ties to that person, put it like that. And I think a lot of people get caught up in that and they think, well, I've been with them for like 15, 20 years. I mean, I don't know nothing else, so I guess I'll just ride this on out, and we'll see what happens, and again, the same stuff happens over and over and over again. So, but yeah, that was my take on that, and it was just ironic. I seen an article today that says something like that. And we got Hope back on here. She's coming back with something. And let's get to that real quick. First, we got Lakia Milburn. She says, "Hey, Chucky Chuck, love doctor and guest. What's going on, Lakia?" And she's listening on. She's over on YouTube checking us out. And then Hope says, "Ideally, time means growth and development. Couples should grow closer and love deeper. Women should grow closer and the love deeper over time." We'll come back to that one. And Dreddy Gale says, "All right, now, truth telling, Charles." Thank you, Dreddy. I try. I try. What you think about that right there? That comment, Naeem? Well, what we think about? Let's talk about this right here.
All right. So ideally, time means growth and development. Couples should grow closer, and the love, maybe she was saying deepens over time. And again, time in and of itself does not mean anything except that time has passed. You can pass that time fighting, you can pass that time healing, you can pass that time destroying, you can pass that time creating and building. It's time itself is going to be what it's going to be. It's going to move on. Everybody's got the same amount of time in a day. What you do at that time is what defines what you value, right? That's ultimately what it says. If you are using your time to scroll through social media all day, that's what you value. You're using your time to connect with people all day, that's what you value. Use your time to read, write, arithmetic, that's what you value, right? I wanted to say another thing because I took some notes when you were talking, where people were like, oh, time in is so valuable and important. Well, you know where else the idea of time in is so valuable and important? Prison. All right. Prison.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say too.
I mean, whether it sound PC to say or not, it's true. You know, it's all about how much time you put in, right? Did you pay your debt to society or what have you? But does love collect debts, right? Does love say you owe me something? Or if love say you want to walk free of this relationship right now, I support you. You want to stay and connect and appreciate together, I support you. You want to appreciate somewhere else, I support you. You want to whatever you want to do. It doesn't, and whatever I want to do doesn't mean I have to give up something to have something else. Meaning I have to give up part of what who I am. It's like, oh, somebody said, Kensu, I don't like how you wear those necklaces and stuff, and when we go out. So when you go out with me, you can't wear them necklaces. I'm not saying who, somebody, not me, Kensu. Somebody not me, might have been thinking, not me, might have been thinking something like that. But if somebody, not me, was said that to you, they won't go out, they won't hang out with you unless you tuck it in or you take it off. Does that sound like freedom? What? No, I didn't hear you, sorry.
No, I said I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I definitely do. I feel that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that somebody not me is not somebody that loves you. So I gotta throw the not me in there because some people out here be thinking things, not me, though. Some people. So I had another note. Oh yes, you were saying, Charles, about, oh yeah, we've been together 15 years and so and so. And another thing people say is like, well, it's the crazy, right? It's the insanity, I know they're gonna push my buttons. I know they're gonna attack me. I know we're gonna argue. So it's the crazy, it's the insanity, But check this out. If you are only willing to go with insanity and stick in that, and your only other options, well, I'd rather be with the insanity I know rather than I don't know, then you don't believe in sanity. You don't know. You don't believe that there is sanity out there for you in a relationship because you just are so taken with your experience with the insanity. And I'm here to tell you that, you know what? You deserve sanity. You deserve to be sane, to express sanity, to receive sanity. And by sanity, I mean appreciation. I mean love. I mean trust. You deserve that. Everybody. Kunsu, Naeem, Charles, Dreddy Gal, Clarence, Hope, everybody. Dawn Lee Thomas, Lakia, everybody. We all, Izzy, Rosa, anybody listening, M, you deserve to be appreciated and you deserve to appreciate because it feels good to feel good. Talk about it, right? Feel good talk. So it feels good to express appreciation. I'm on fire today. I don't know if I'm keeping it low, but the fire is high. Just so y'all know. But
we got Danny down low. Does she want to come in?
Oh well, let's ask her if she wants to come in. Just type in the chat if you want to come on screen or if you just want to
let us
listen.
know.
All right, well, let's have
She's
her
typing
on.
now. She's typing now.
Oh, she's typing. Okay, great. So yeah, these are some good questions. And in the back, because you were talking about family dynamics also, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
When I point this way, am I pointing at Charles? Anybody can sue?
Yeah.
Does it look like?
Mm-hmm.
All right, because on my screen is back. All right, so Charles is
right.
All right, so Clarence says, do we complicate love because we grew up seeing love differently based on the relationship dynamics in the home? Are we often acting out the love that we grew up in? So, do we see it differently? Do we complicate it because we grew up seeing love differently? Well, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do we see it differently, a lot of those differences are still not healthy. You know, if like one person believes like it is based on the principle though. Like we've grown up with this principle that love is painful. Like we've all heard that love hurts. We've heard that love hurts. So, well, my father used to beat me with a switch. Well, my father used to beat me with iron. You know, they would say I love you every time. I'm doing this because I love you. Well, mine beat me with the bottle of alcohol that he just finished drinking. Like every time I spill a drop, he beat me again. It's like, and I'm told that I'm only doing this because I love you. It's a very contradictory message. But if you grow up hearing that, you might think that, wow, so love is pain. And if I love someone, then there's two sides to it. Now there's the side where there's the abuser and the abusee, and all of us have played both in some way. It doesn't have to be violent, but in some way we've all done it all. We've all abused and been abused in some way, whether it was just verbal, financial, whatever the case. But here's the two sides of it. The two sides are that, okay, if I believe that love hurts, as an abuser, I believe that this person loves me to the extent of the amount of abuse that they will take from me. They still here after I've been, I call them every name in the book, after I drain their bank account, after I, damage their property, after I hurt them, after I step on them, after I physically, after I try to control and limit them and all that. That's love because they still with me. And on the other side, the abusee side is they love me because they're doing this to me. This attention is love. And it's because I can take all of this from them. That means I love them. Because I wouldn't take all of this from just anybody. I'll take it from you, Khonsu, but not from you, Chuck. All right. So that goes like, if this special person hurts you, it's love. But if someone else hurts you, think about it. If someone spoke to you in the way that you speak to yourself, when you think about it, we make a mistake, we forget something like, oh, dummy, you idiot. Why did you do that? Why did you forget, But if someone said, oh, Khonsu, you forgot that we was coming on, you dummy, you idiot. What's wrong with you? You forgot that, what time we come on and all of that. You would be like, why are you talking to me like that? You would feel offended because it's an attack. So why you talk to yourself like that? You may have forgot your keys, your phone charger, your phone number, right? And you're like, oh, I'm such an idiot. No, don't do that. Don't talk to yourself like that. That's still self-attack and self-abuse.
Right.
So, to answer your question, Clarence, largely because we've all grown up not only with our own dysfunctional meaning of love, but then other dysfunctional meanings all coming on board at the same time. So, like, wow, yeah, my loved one beating me with the switch is not as bad as the person who's beating them with the bat. So, but it's the same, because why are you beating someone that you say you love?
Right.
That's the principle we're trying to get to. So it's all insane, and you deserve sane insanity. So.
And you're right, Naeem. Like I said, you don't know what you don't know. So a lot of times, we were a lot of us are born seeing, love is pain, love is, like you said, nonsense. I even had to look into it, like when we first met, and again, I go back to that where we were talking, and I'm like, who this guy? Let me see what he's gonna say, because I know he's gonna be, talk about love is a feeling, love is. I'm like, oh, here we go. So yeah, but when I heard, the universal principles of love, and that was the first time I heard it when like I said, when I first met you, and I was like, wow, this dude, I like this, and I said, I understand it. I can understand, what he's talking about and how he's breaking it down, versus if you ask someone what is love, they couldn't really give you an answer, or you'll have different answers from each and every person that you talk to. Whereas this right here, just, nails it, just put the nails in the coffin, man. And just, everything's there for you. So, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate definitely the conversation that we are having. And I just want to get to this. We got Hope. She came back again, and she says, loving the wrong person hurts.
All right, that's good. I have a question for you, Hope, and for everyone else on that. So can we go to my screen? And what you were saying about again, you should feel some type of hesitance or like skepticism about what's this dude going to say and this person going to say talking about love,
Right.
because most people that talk about it, they
really don't know what they're talking about. But go ahead.
yeah, exactly. Took the words out of my mouth. So, and they want you to kind of co-sign onto however they're feeling in the moment, which is not a productive conversation unless it's about their therapy session that we all just come in to listen to your therapy.
Right.
I mean, that give you therapy. Otherwise, what's something that everybody who's part of the conversation can take with them, take to their own personal life and use. That's why I'm sure when you heard me say it the first time, you may have thought about it, but then as you didn't just take it on face value, as you thought about it more and applied it to your own situation, you're like, now it makes a little sense. Not because he said it, but because it makes sense.
Right.
It's not about who says it. It's about it either makes sense or it's not, right? It's either clear or it's confusing. So if it's clear, and if I can be like, that freedom, that appreciation, that communication, I've had that before, and that felt good. That felt loving. Oh, that fear, that conflict, that attack, that anger, that abuse, I've done that before. I've had that before. That didn't feel good. That felt toxic. That's what the connection we're trying to make. And back to what I was going to ask Hope. If loving the wrong person hurts, what do you mean by love? Because is there such that can you free the wrong person? Can you appreciate the wrong person? Can you communicate with the wrong person? Can you trust the wrong person? Can you be sincere with the wrong person? I'm just asking a question, meaning, is it possible to see this person's freedom, appreciate them, communicate with them, trust them, and be sincere yourself, be sincere, and not be hurt, even if they are all on the other side? They're all on the side of they're afraid, they're attacking, they're angry, they have conflict, trauma, they want to separate, but you stay on that other side, on that love side. Can you be hurt if all you're doing is showing appreciation? They want to come at you, Hope, how come your name is Hope? Why is nothing to hope for? You're miserable. Everything's miserable. I'm upset. I don't have no hope. No hope. Keep hope alive. Hope has died a long time ago. And they can say all of that. And you could be like, I appreciate you for coming up and giving your, point of view. I stand in the truth that there's always something to hope for. There's always something to be happy about. And I'm grateful and happy regardless of what anybody else thinks or feels, because it's my happiness, not yours. Some people, not me, think that you can affect my happiness, but no, you can't. So take a screenshot, everybody. And so that's my question, right? If you stay on that side of love, can you be hurt? Emotionally, I'm talking about, not physically.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, that's great conversation. And now I would love for Hope to come back and say something on that one. That was good. How you doing, Danny? What's going on? Everything all right?
Hi guys. No, I'm just listening, taking it all in.
Okay, we appreciate you. We appreciate you tuning in. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So you're always welcome to join us.
It's in my calendar as we speak.
Ooh, okay. Right. We like that.
Thanks for coming.
Where are you coming where you calling from? Well, calling from. Where are you at?
I the old school radio vibe. My name is Dan, calling in from Queens.
Okay, Queens in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. So, and like I said, anytime you show, I tell everybody when they come on, anytime if they show their face, they can come on there. As long as they can hold a conversation and can enlighten this conversation. So, how do you feel about your first show?
I got so much of it, so much from everybody's share that I was just listening, but it was a pretty heady topic. Love and time, and the time thing really got to me, and yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, hey, welcome to Feel Good Talk Love 101, and join us each week. We got something for you every week. So thank
you for joining the conversation. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You do the same. You can still hang out. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You can still hang out.
Yeah. Is it time for another commercial interlude before we close out?
You know what? We she pulled out. Okay, well we can make it another commercial if definitely. So here it is, the A Game. This is our sponsor for tonight, and here we go. And again, that is the A Game. Great for vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Again, I have 2 or 3 samples. I know you'll say, Chuck got 2 or 3 samples every week. Well, I always give the free samples out, because it's from the love of my heart. Right? Nah, but again, if you want your free sample, give me a call at 302-723-2836 to get your free sample of the A Game. Again, 302-723-2836. And just to let you know, you can catch us on LinkedIn at Feel Good Talk, on Facebook at Feel Good Talk, on YouTube at FGT, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business, and on Instagram at feel.goodtalk. And we also have some great shows and great lineups throughout the week. And I'm going to throw those up here as soon as I can get to them. Boom, boom, boom. We have the live shows for the week. Of course, we're here. Feel Good Talk Love 101 on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. right here with me and my man Naeem Najib. Tomorrow night we have, which is Thursday at 7 p.m. We have Let's Talk About It. That's at 7 p.m. with Izzy Meditates and that's what Izzy Meditates and Kendra Moore. So definitely check that out tomorrow night. And then on Fridays we have Williams World at Friday at 6 p.m. Jamila J's Girl Talk. She's coming back. She's on vacation right now, but she's coming back in June. So she'll be back in June, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She's coming straight from LA. Then we have Give Me Some Sugar, Baking with Steven that's every other Sunday. He'll be on this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's coming all the way from Arizona. And then we have the pre-recorded shows. We have Mindfulness Mondays with Izzy Meditates on Monday at 9. We also have Words from the Heart with Shana Gordine Tuesdays at 9 a.m. We have More Life with Essential Oils on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. with Kendra Moore. And on Saturdays, we have Cassandra's Corner at 10 a.m. This is for the kids. If they, she does arts and crafts. She interviews young entrepreneurs. She reads stories. She does it all. So definitely check out Cassandra's Corner, Saturday at 10 a.m. I always get tongue-tied with these shows. I don't know what the hell is going on sometimes. But again, I guess it's old age. You know what I mean? But I'll take it. Oh, we got some great comments out here. We do have some more comments, and we got one from Hope, and this might answer it all. There are different types of love. I can love someone who is broken and in need of healing. However, to fall in love with someone who is in such need could be damaging for me. Love should enhance and bring joy to your life. Couples will have problems, but they should be open and willing to work together to work it out. Anybody got anything on that one?
I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
I have questions, and I'm hearing my feedback for some reason. Let
me go on mute.
Yeah. So thank you for your comment, Hope. And my question to everyone out there, based on Hope's comment, is if there are different types of love, what is love? And going back to the facts. Are there different types of freedom? Are there different types of appreciation? Are there different types of communication? Are there different types of trust? Are there different types of sincerity? Using that model, are there different types of love? And based on your definition, what does it mean that there are different types of love? When we say love someone who is broken in need of healing, however, to fall in love with someone who is in such need could be damaging What does it mean to fall in love? Is that different than loving them? Is to fall in love, is it a different act or position than just love itself? And can you fall in love? Can you love everyone? That's the question. And can you fall in love with everyone? Because if the answer to that question is no, meaning can you love everyone and can you fall in love with everyone? If the answer to that question is no, you're talking about two different things. I'd like to know what they are. And then my question is, love should enhance and bring joy to your life. So based on that, if love should enhance and bring joy to your life, he said couples can have, will have problems, but they should be open and willing to work together and work it out. What if they're having problems being together and problems trying to work it out? Could it be enhancing and joyful to the couple's lives that they separate, that they no longer be a couple? And how? And again, these are not questions we're going to answer right now, but it's just questions for you to think about. When we talk about working out problems, what is the problem and how are you working it out? If you've had a similar problem or the same problem before and it's coming up again, clearly you don't know how to work it out. Because think of a math problem. 2 + 2 is 4, right? If I've worked it out, I've worked it out with everything. 2 cups plus 2 cups is 4 cups. 2 rubber bands plus 2 rubber bands is 4 rubber bands. 2 books plus 2 books is 4 books. If it's the same problem, same universal problem, and I figured it out, then I can work it out anywhere, right? In any relationship. Somebody brings me 2 of something and 2 of something, I know what the answer is. So if someone brings me attack, I should know how to work that out. Appreciation. Someone brings me conflict, I should know how to work that out. Communication. Someone brings me trauma or triggers or abuse, I should know how to work that out. Trust, appreciation, changing my mind about things, about how I see the person rather than changing the relationship itself. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stay in a relationship with someone to love them. You don't have to stay in a relationship with someone to appreciate them or to work it out. So that's just some questions I had up there. Thank you for your comment, Hope, and thank you for being a part of the conversation. Dreddy Gal says, thank you for reading from one of your manuals. Love Doctor, always helpful. Thanks for the clarity on commitment. Appreciate both of you and everybody. Thank you. And Lakia says, good show, gotta watch the replay. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I listen to and watch the replays too. I'm like, what's this guy talking about today? I'm like, oh shoot, that was a good one. Love Dawn Lee says, love how he takes a comment and breaks it all the way down. Awesome job. Thank you, Dawn Lee. My question, thank you, Hope. Heart faces. I got one right there. See, keep touching it. Keep messing my hand up. But Jody Gal says, there's a lot packed in Hope's comments and in the question you pose. Love Doctor, can we return to those questions another term? Can you write them down, Dreddy Gal, and post them in your comment the next time you join so that we know what we're talking about? Because being sincere, I'm going to forget all of it. I'm not even going to say I'm going to remember, so I'm going to forget everything I said and everything you said. And it's not personal. I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my plate. I mean, look at all these books. I don't even remember that I wrote half of these books. And they on the table. I'm like, what is all this stuff on my table? It's like, oh, it's books. Whose books? Oh, yeah, mine. So it's not personal. Some people, not me, take it personally. But listen, don't take it personally from me. Because me, I appreciate you. Just because I don't remember exactly what you said doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. And Dreddy Gal says, will do. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for joining also, Kinsu. And it's been a great show. Thanks, Charles. And everybody.
Yeah, it's been an awesome show, man. Awesome comments. We definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the family at the bottom. Cali Soul, HT Lovejoy. And we definitely appreciate that. And Kinsu, he went off for a second, but we'll talk to him shortly. But again, man, always a great show. Thanks for your knowledge and wisdom, brother. And again, this is Feel Good Talk Love 101 with myself, Charles Brakely, my man Naeem Najib. And we'll catch you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on Feel Good Talk, Mind, Body, Soul, and Business. So I think that's it, brother. Awesome show. Everybody have a great night. Be blessed out there. Peace.